The Kingdom of Benin was more advanced than Europe expected. Episode 2, Origins, Part 1. Every great kingdom has a beginning. Some begin with conquest, others with revolution. But the story of the Kingdom of Benin begins with a mystery that historians are still trying to unravel. How did a small settlement hidden within the forests of West Africa grow into one of the continent's most powerful kingdoms? To answer that question, we must travel back more than 1,000 years. Long before Europeans reached these shores. Long before the famous bronze masterpieces. Long before massive walls surrounded Benin City. There were only scattered farming communities living among rivers and forests. The land before the kingdom. Southern Nigeria offered everything needed for civilization to grow. Rich soils, abundant rainfall, dense forests filled with valuable timber, rivers that connected communities and encouraged trade. The people cultivated crops such as yams and oil palm, hunted wildlife, fished nearby rivers, and developed thriving local markets. Villages exchanged food, iron tools, pottery, and woven cloth. Generation after generation, these communities became increasingly connected. No one could yet imagine that these settlements would eventually become the heart of one of Africa's greatest kingdoms. The earliest people. Who were the first people of Benin? Archaeologists continue to investigate this question. Evidence suggests that ancestors of the Edo people lived in this region long before the Kingdom of Benin emerged as a centralized state. These early communities built homes from earth and wood, farmed fertile land, and developed strong family and clan systems. Their traditions, language, and beliefs would later become the foundation of Benin's culture. Confirmed fact. Archaeological evidence and linguistic studies indicate long-term settlement by Edo-speaking peoples in the region. Scholarly theory. The exact process by which these communities united into a centralized kingdom remains debated. Legend. Oral traditions preserve stories that explain the kingdom's founding. Though these traditions combine history with cultural memory. The story told by tradition. Among the Edo people, one famous tradition tells of a time before the Obas ruled. According to oral history, local chiefs struggled to govern fairly and sought help from the neighboring Yoruba city of Ife. The tradition says that a prince named Oranmiyan came to the region. After a period of leadership, he returned to Ife, leaving behind a son known as Eweka, who became the first Oba of Benin. This story has been passed down for generations and remains an important part of Benin's cultural heritage. However, historians continue to debate how much reflects historical events and how much represents symbolic tradition. Understanding the difference between oral tradition and archaeological evidence is essential to studying the kingdom's origins. A new kind of leadership. Whether through gradual political development or the events remembered in oral tradition, one fact is clear. Benin developed a powerful monarchy. The Oba was more than a king. He became the symbol of unity, justice, and continuity. Royal authority brought together communities that had once acted independently. Laws became more organized. Trade expanded. Craft production increased. The foundations of a great kingdom were finally taking shape. Yet, the greatest transformation had not happened. A new generation of rulers was about to turn Benin from a regional kingdom into a rising power that would dominate trade, culture, and politics across much of West Africa. In the next part of Episode 2, we'll discover how those early Obas strengthened their kingdom, expanded their influence, and prepared Benin for its extraordinary rise to power. Origins, Part 2. The creation of a powerful kingdom does not happen overnight. It takes vision, leadership, and generations of people willing to build something greater than themselves. For Benin, that transformation had begun. The birth of Benin City. As communities united under stronger leadership, a permanent royal center began to emerge. This settlement would eventually become Benin City, the political, cultural, and spiritual heart of the kingdom. Homes became more organized. Roads connected neighborhoods. Markets attracted traders from nearby communities. The royal palace grew larger with each generation, becoming a symbol of unity and authority. Although many of the earliest buildings were made from earth and wood, they reflected careful planning and skilled craftsmanship. The city's growth was no accident. It was the result of centuries of cooperation. The Oba strengthens the kingdom. The Oba ruled with the support of chiefs, advisors, priests, and guild leaders. Each group had specific responsibilities. Some oversaw farming, others managed trade. Some protected the kingdom, others preserved traditions and religious ceremonies. This organized system helped maintain stability even as the kingdom continued to expand. Power was shared through institutions while remaining centered on the authority of the Oba. It was a sophisticated political structure that impressed many later visitors. The spirit of the people, religion shaped daily life in Benin. The people honored their ancestors and believed that the spiritual world remained closely connected to the living. The Oba was seen not only as a political ruler, but also as a guardian of sacred traditions. Festivals brought communities together. Music echoed through palace courtyards. Drums announced important events. Ceremonies reinforced unity and celebrated the kingdom's identity. Many of these traditions continue to influence Edo culture today. Masters of iron and bronze. Long before the famous Benin bronzes became known around the world, skilled craftsmen were already producing high-quality iron tools. Blacksmiths created farming equipment, hunting weapons, and ceremonial objects. These innovations increased food production, strengthened defense, and supported trade. As technology improved, specialized guilds emerged. Knowledge was passed from master to apprentice. Generation after generation, craftsmanship became one of Benin's greatest strengths. This tradition would eventually produce some of the finest bronze artworks ever created in Africa. Trade begins to grow. The kingdom's location allowed merchants to exchange goods with neighboring peoples. Cloth, 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 cloth. Palm products, pepper, ivory. Trade brought wealth, new ideas, and stronger relationships across West Africa. Long before European ships appeared on the Atlantic coast, Benin was already part of an active regional trading network. Its economy was growing steadily. Its influence was spreading, and its ambitions were becoming larger. A kingdom ready for greatness. By the end of its early development, Benin possessed everything needed for extraordinary success. Strong leadership, skilled craftsmen, farmland, organized government, rowing trade, a united people. But an even greater transformation was approaching. Soon, ambitious rulers would expand the kingdom's influence far beyond its forests. Its name would become known across West Africa and eventually reach distant shores. In the next episode, we enter a new era. Powerful Obas will reshape the kingdom, strengthen its armies, expand its trade, and begin the remarkable rise that will make Benin one of Africa's greatest empires. If you enjoyed uncovering this forgotten Africa, subscribe to Forgotten Africa and join us as we reveal the story's history almost erased.